Welcome in. We've got more great live music on the way. And, of course, live music continues in day 3 of Middle of the Map as it continues on tonight. As a matter of fact, we've got one group from Denmarkshire, England, been together for about the last 6-7 years. They're going to be at the Middle of the Map tonight at the Midland Theater. They call themselves the Struts. They're down the hallway in Studio A with Jon Hart right here live on the bridge.
And I'm on the air live here at the bridge with the Struts. I actually kind of feel a little bit guilty because I feel like we're taking you guys out of your element a little bit. We have you all on chairs. They call you the Struts for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm. That's fine. We'll be known as the Stools.
And so it begins. The Struts are Luke, Adam, Jed, and Gethin, and they are playing tonight at 9:15 at Crossroads KC. And there are over 100 bands in Middle of the Map Fest, and I have to say, when the lineup comes out, we pick out a handful to try and represent the festival, and you guys are number 1 on our list. We cannot wait to see you play tonight.
Thank you very much. I think we got here a couple of hours ago, and we've seen the stage and whatnot. So a lot of places you can go, and you just know it's going to be great, and I can feel it in the air today.
Yeah, it is going to be a lot of fun. And congratulations, the new CD, Everybody Wants, your debut album on Interscope. And it's not really your new CD. It's actually something that you guys have been working for a long time. We can talk about that a little bit later on. But I think that for people who are just getting to know the Struts, it's like the big thing is that you guys want to put fun back into rock and roll, and it's sort of like the return of glam rock.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, we've... for anyone who's maybe hearing about us for the first time or seeing us or whatnot, I think it's very important to consider that, you know, this wasn't a project in a band where we kind of got together and said, you know, let's revive this genre, so to speak. You know, this is what we love, and we've been doing it for like over 5 years now, and it's really starting to gain some attention, which is a beautiful coincidence, so it's great.
I don't think it's a coincidence. 5 years of work is not a coincidence,
yeah.
Meg. You just happen to be winning.
I just tell myself that, you know, got to keep ourselves grounded, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. You sort of alluded to the fact that it's the music you love. You grew up in a house where your dad's like a gospel singer-songwriter. And, you know, we have people come in and tell that kind of story every once in a while. And a lot of times there's sort of a repressive tone to it. But they've been actually pretty supportive of you.
Yeah, you know, to their credit, I just don't think it's... It wasn't like there was a ban of a specific type of music. It's just that was and still is like how my dad and my mum to an extent sort of live. You know, that they really enjoy spiritual worship music and they like listening to it in the morning. And you know, my mum would clean the house like with it blasting. My dad's records, plus like a lot of other people as well, like Don Francisco was like a huge... he's American as well, and so it wasn't necessarily like I was banned from anything. It was like what was great was that I kind of self-discovered this, and you know, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know that band." Yeah, you know,
I mean, you came across Michael Jackson at the age of 7,
mm-hmm.
and then about 11, Led Zeppelin, Queen, AC/DC. You started to get obsessed, and the obsession really kind of turned into study.
Yeah. It was actually a little bit later when sort of AC/DC and Zeppelin really came about. I think for a lot of young people, you know, you get turned on to music quite early, but I think once you get into kind of like your early teens, that's when I think out of experience, you kind of find yourself and your identity within the music that you love. And yes, it became an obsession. It was the past had suddenly became another world, which I really couldn't get enough of. And on the way, I discovered some fantastic music as well.
At the age of 15, you started doing things like wearing eyeliner to school. And the thing that just is so great about that is that for the most part, the people that you were going to school with said, "Oh yeah, Luke, rock star." Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just accepted, and you were able to live that out.
Well, the good thing was I wasn't just some guy without a band who just thought I was a superstar. You know, I've only ever been in one other group, and that was my school band that I had at the time at that particular school, and I was really lucky. The teachers were really encouraging in the arts. It's actually an art academy now, but it was like an all-boys school. And we had this group, and that we were kind of all like that. It was, you know, we were kind of like peacocking around, thinking that we were, you know, the bee's knees, and that was just who we were, you know. And it wasn't just a group as well; it was kind of where we were on the social ladder. So that was just what it was, you know.
Well, I think it's going to be one of the absolute highlights of Middle of the Map Fest tonight, 9:15, Crossroads KC, the Struts. We'd love to hear some music.
Thomas said, stay home, get away from me, saying I was bad for you. He got his way, I'm gone for good. Making up stories, keeping it secret, taking your word for truth. You were bad for me, so I'm gone for good. I did all I could, so kiss this one more time and I'm gone for good. I said to you, you misunderstood, so kiss this one last time and I'm gone for good. Thomas said sorry, coming back crawling, didn't give a shit before he stole from me, so I'm gone for good. Hey! Getting back from this, no second chances, another phone call, ignored, you're back for me, but I'm gone for good. I did all I could, so kiss this one more time and I'm gone for good. I said to you, you misunderstood, so kiss this one last time and I'm gone for good. Can I get a little yeah. Kiss this one more time, one more time. I did all I could, so kiss this one more time and I'm gone for good. Say to you, you misunderstood, so kiss this one last time and I'm gone for good. Can I get a little?
Okay, I take it all back. Y'all strut. Even on stools, y'all strut. That was pretty great. The Struts, if you want to know more, it's thestruts.com, 9:15 tonight, Crossroads KC. That was just so much fun. I think that one of the things I absolutely love about the band is, you were talking about coincidence and acting like things are luck, but it wasn't just working hard. You all had to have a fair amount of courage to stay true to who you are. Luke, you and Adam met in 2009, started living together, writing songs, did it for 3 years, got signed, did some recording. People started telling you to change. People started telling you not to be who you were, and you kind of hung in there and didn't listen, chose to not listen.
Yeah, we were always... Okay, so firstly, I think any intelligent artist, whether it's a group or solo act or whatever, you have to kind of take on board, critique what's being said, because a lot of the time, things are said for a reason, and it's good to take that on. But when it comes to things like your identity and what you really feel passionate about, the music industry and your relationship between your label and your managers, even your band members, it's all about, you have to really pick your battles, because you can't be like bitching and moaning all the time. And when it came to the music and when it came to like the look and the aesthetic of the group, I always felt, and Adam included, that we had to kind of stay true to that. Otherwise, what was the point in doing this?
So you recorded the record and went through, you had to change management groups. I believe you went through 4 labels. And then finally, with, the 4th label, all of a sudden, it's like the pieces of the puzzle came together, and you guys have had some really big success.
Yes, so we originally released the debut album in the UK, but I think it didn't really get the attention and the push it kind of deserved. But looking back now, I really think it all happened for a reason, because now we're a better group. We're more sure of ourselves. We were lucky enough to sort of really land on our feet with not only management but an incredible label as well, and we were able to have a second chance of how we really wanted to present ourselves to the world, the US in particular. And we managed to put on some new tracks as well, which breathed new life into it. So what we've ended up with is a better product, and we're a better band for it as well.
After all that work, after all that struggle, if I got to pick a moment in Struts history to like be a fly on the wall, I would have loved to have been in the room when you get the phone call saying, "Would you like to open for the Stones?"
Yeah, well, that was particularly funny. So we were, some stuff had happened, and we were kind of like riding this ripple of a wave of attention that we were getting on the live scene in the UK, which, to be fair, we were doing really well, and we'd had some great support in France and Paris in particular. So we were doing a lot of touring in the UK and France, and this one particular gig was in a really it's not a very nice town. It's called Scunthorpe, so that even sounds like horrible. And we were playing in this kind of like pub, which was like a glorified like live venue. And does anyone remember what it was called? It was
Lincoln Imp.
The Lincoln Imp. So we were all really tired, so we asked if we could have some sort of green room. We were upstairs, and it was really disgusting, and we were kind of all contemplating like, why are we doing this? And we had no idea like how many tickets are sold and whatnot. We were trying to figure out ways to break out, because the album was coming out and the radio wasn't playing us, and that very evening, we get the phone call, and we were told we obviously couldn't tell anyone because it was 2 weeks away, and they wanted to keep it secret. But needless to say, we went on stage that night, full of beans, knowing that we were going to be performing with the Stones in front of 50,000 people. So no, more than that.
It was 80.
75, yeah.
I read 80, so always go with a higher number.
It was 75. It's 80,000 capacity, but I think there was about 75.
Yeah, they had to cut off behind the stage.
Yeah.
so people can actually watch the show.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, when you're doing research to do the interview and you say, oh, you know, they opened for the Stones, it's like you start looking for any kind of interaction that you might have had with the Stones. Is there a story there? And the only thing that I found after exhaustive research is that you said that Mick Jagger has soft hands.
Yes, he does. we were lucky enough to run into their sound check while they were doing like Wild Horses and stuff like that in an empty stadium, which was really cool. And shortly after, Mick spotted us and said a quick hello, and it was really nice and polite. But it's the Rolling Stones, you know. I didn't get to play cards with Keith or get a drum lesson from Charlie. It's the Stones. They're untouchable, you know.
I think just being able to say that Mick Jagger has soft hands is a pretty good story.
Yeah.
Just in and of itself.
People do love that story.
You also opened for the last shows for Motley Crue, which had to be kind of fun.
They were great. It was a completely different ball game from the Stones. The Stones was very, very, very large and overwhelming, and I think the performance and the experience wasn't very fulfilling as like a group, because they're all to see the Stones, and Motley Crue was quite similar, but we had 4 goes at it, So when your main support for such a huge act like that in such a big venue, every night is like you're walking onto like a battlefield, so to speak. You're there to win as many people over in such a short space of time. And by the second show, we were just like, I think we were really killing it. And, just even the little things, if this makes any sense, like when you're at your own show, there'll be like a massive round of applause after every single song. Of course, when no one knows who the Struts are and they're there to see Motley, there's like somewhat of a ripple, to begin with. So you don't want dead air. So we had to like come together as a group, and the momentum of like going into each song to the next had to be so much more quicker. And I think we just stepped our game up with those 4 shows.
And they gave us an hour-long set as well as a support band, which was really, really good.
Yeah.
And really nice of them. So it was a really good experience.
And, I think it's also you're a band that's sort of geared to be able to answer that challenge, because you all kind of take the stage knowing that it's not about you, it's about making that audience have fun. That's one of the sort of guiding principles that you've always followed. So go get them.
Yeah, it's cool. The performance style is slowly evolving and ever changing because of the reaction of the audience. We did First Avenue sold out night before last, and that was 1,500 people, and you get to this point where you feel like you don't even have to say anything. There's just screaming, and that can change the performance. It actually really helps because the pressure's off. You're like, God, yeah, they already love it. So
yeah,
we could play, Bar Bar Bloody Black Sheep, and they'd be screaming.
I'm anxious to hear the screaming tonight, 9:15 Crossroads KC, as the Struts play middle of the Map Fest, and we'd love to hear some more music if we could.
Don't wanna live as an untold story, rather go out in a blaze of glory. I can't hear you, I don't fear you. I'll live now cause the bad die last, dodging bullets with your broken past. I can't hear you, I don't fear you now. Wrapped in your regret, what a waste of blood and sweat. Oh, I wanna taste love and pain, wanna feel pride and shame. I don't wanna take my time, don't wanna waste one life. I wanna live better days, never look back and say it could have been me. It could have been me, yeah. Don't wanna live as an unsung melody. I'd rather listen to the silence telling me I can't hear you. I don't fear you. Don't wanna wake up on a Monday morning. The thought of work is getting my skin crawling. I can't hear you. I don't fear you now. Wrapped in your regret. What a waste of blood and sweat. Ooh, yeah. I wanna taste love and pain. Wanna feel pride and shame. I don't wanna take my time. Don't wanna waste one life. I wanna live better days. Never look back and say it could have been me. It could have been me. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
The Struts in our studios here at the Bridge. They're playing tonight, part of Middle of the Map Fest over at Crossroads KC. That song's actually about having the strength, the courage to remain true to your art.
It's yeah, it certainly is. You can hear it in the lyric.
Yeah, so this is the shallow part of the interview. I just love the fact that what you're doing is so much of a show. So if you don't mind me asking some of the questions, how long do you spend in makeup before you go on stage?
So this is an ongoing process and a juggle between the schedule and sort of time to get ready. So our typical day, my girlfriend Laura does my makeup. So if she wants to do something quite a really kind of big makeup, that would be about 45 minutes. And then maybe apply the glitter just before I go on stage, because that can sometimes get in my eyes. And but I found more recently that the best shows are when we kind of really give ourselves a solid 2 hours. I really enjoy that personally, just sort of listening to music and try not to sit down for at least an hour before you go on and sip a bit of whiskey and just start to play music really, really loud, and then we all get together, and that's before. That normally counts for a great show.
And you're not the first band to ever do this, but wardrobe, a lot of it thrift stores, women's clothing. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I really loved was you reached out to Zandra Rhodes.
Yep.
And she was a famous designer that did a lot of work with Freddie Mercury and Queen. Mm-hmm. So you've got some of that stuff going as well. Yeah,
that was just before the Stones. I wanted some. I didn't really have anything in my wardrobe which kind of fitted that occasion of stadium. So I thought, who better to kind of get in contact with? It was actually my mum who suggested it, and I literally just, there was no label sort of thing. It was completely genuine. I just found her website and got hold of an email address, and then sent her a video, could have been me, and explained to her I really loved what she had done. And she jumped at the occasion. She said, I haven't worked with a singer or a band for many years, so this is really cool.
She looks the part. I mean, she's got neon pink hair.
Yeah, she's definitely an extrovert.
I understand that you're writing a full-length musical.
How did you find that out?
I don't remember the source, but
that's been sort of in the works for over 2 or 3. No, I think it's about 2 years. So there's lots of times when I kind of lock myself away and sort of just try and record something, and I don't really care what it is. Especially when we were in Derby, we had a lot of free time. So we used to either like go back and visit home or go out and do stuff. And I spent quite a lot of time teaching myself on Logic, a recording music program, and in doing so, I just sort of like started to write sort of like these quintessentially kind of like English themed, nostalgic kind of like songs, and of course they weren't really right for the Struts, but I still enjoyed doing it. So that's kind of like an ongoing process. I'm not necessarily like recycling material that hadn't got used. A lot of it is actually purposely written for it, but I don't really want to talk too much about it because it's still very much like a skeleton project at the moment, scattered about. It hasn't even been assembled yet.
You know, I think the only person that wants to hear your next album more than us is you.
That's true.
But you're going to be working this one for a while more.
Yeah. I think collectively we can't wait to, you know, have some time to really do it. And, you know, the first one was really special, but I think just going out into the States and, you know, getting like the radio play and the support from people like yourselves, that's made us more confident in what we do. You know, a lot of the album number one was we were constantly going back to the drawing board and going, oh, you know, is this gonna work? And, you know, it was quite good because that meant that we kept pushing and pushing and pushing ourselves. But the second album, we have more of a clearer vision of what exactly we want to do.
You know, I think it's really a challenge to bring a band in that is, you know, really, you know, you're sort of built to do big things. And we ask you to come in and do really small things, you know, acoustic and intimate. And the songs hold up and the performances hold up. And it's a beautiful thing to watch you guys do this. And I hope that everybody chooses to go down tonight to Crossroads KC, Inks Mill of the Map Fest, to catch your set at 9:15 to see the primary core product, because you guys are going to bring it tonight. We know that.
We will.
We'd love to hear one more song if we could.
Ready?
Where did she go? Where did my love from? I want back the way it was. So you level, I would be the rebel on the dance floor. My lips were locked, glued to yours. Yeah, they were. Do you believe it? And you can't deceive it, but love runs from my face down to this day. And now I'm singing, oh, 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 where did she go? Where did my love run? I want back the way it was. Ooh, yeah, oh, oh, oh. Say, give me the tongue and give me the club, 'cause I want back the way it was. Yeah. 'Cause love can be so blind, and I was just too kind. And she thinks I'm fake, and everybody knows. Yeah, they do. And I was all for it, and then she stung like a hornet. When she sees me, I'm sure it will be the last. And I'm singing, oh, 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 where did she go? Yeah. And where did my love run? I want back the way it was. Ooh, yeah, oh, oh, oh. Give me the tongue and give me the clock, 'cause I want back the way it was. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Adam Slack on the far right. Where did you go? And where did my love run? I want back the way it was. Yeah, and oh, whoa, whoa, give me the time, yeah, and give me the clock, 'cause I want back the way it was. Yeah.
I just love that. That was great. That's the song, correct me if I'm wrong, towards the end of the show. It's the sing-along. Everybody needs to pay attention. If you're not familiar with the record, get the chorus the first time through and then sing along. Wave your cell phone in the air, move back and forth. You've been playing that for about 10 years.
I have, yeah. I wrote that when I was about 16, stumbling back home, like quite drunk. and then I went over and over in my head with the melody and oh whoa whoa bit, and then I wrote it down. Then lucky enough I remembered it the next day, and that song literally has taken me from, you know, my old school group all the way right up, you know, to this very moment in time. It's very bizarre, and sometimes like halfway through singing it, I'm reliving like this fantastic montage of like all these great moments that I've been lucky to sing it.
So the song's kind of filling in for a near-death experience. Your life is flashing in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I cannot tell you how excited we are to see the full show tonight. You can find out more at thestruts.com. The new album, Everybody Wants, is out on Interscope, and I'm assuming that you'll have a nice stock of that at the merch table tonight.
We will, yes, including some fantastic new hoodies.
All right.
And a great variety of T-shirts. So bring your checkbooks. No,
Yeah,
actually don't.
and,
We don't take checks.
I would
Only
imagine if you really want to make the Struts feel good, you know, put on your glitter before you come too.
Exactly. We used to say, come dressed to impress, you know.
The Struts today, again, struts.com. Everybody Wants tonight at Crossroads KC. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in and sharing the music.
Thank you very much for having us, mate.
The Struts live on the bridge.